Hey, hey, hey. How you guys doing? So I know Story Seeker, Felix, and Alloy are here. It's great to see all of you and anybody else who's here. Um, Thank you for being here as well. I hope you, if you have seen the video, I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, this is going to be a bit of an interesting one, for sure. The bullying, yeah, like I kind of went a bit in, and I had to edit some of it out. Not gonna lie, but um, yeah, it had to be done. Somebody had to do it. It had to be done. I said I was gonna do it, and so I did it. And yeah, and it is what it is, you know. But at the end of the day, like I said, they're not real, so it doesn't really matter. Um, but yeah, in this extended discussion, I kind of want to just really go deep into why exactly I'm calling them out, because I think the nine are the nine are not a the nine are not a they're not an exception. They're slowly turning into the rule, which is a bit of a concern of mine when it comes to different factions in Destiny. And I know we've kind of talked about this a little bit already, but I'm going to go into a bit more detail this time. Is Zer guilty as well? Uh, Considering he says his will is not his own, then it's technically the Nine's will that we're getting exotics. I suppose. Do you know what? You know what's funny, Felix? You're technically right. Okay, that actually is the one thing that the Nine have done, which has been actually really helpful to us. Do you want to know why I forgot about that? Because Xur has been so forgettable for like the last 5 years. So I forgot that Xur selling his exotics was even a thing. So I don't know. They used to be useful in that regard, but I don't know what happened there. But anyway, I'm just gonna get into it. If you're here and you don't know how this type of stream works, basically I've got my spiel, which is I go super deep into the topic of the video that came out today, and I just kind of do my thing, and then at the end I then just hang out with you guys for a bit, and I go through all the questions and all of that. So if you ask a question and I'm like in my spiel or whatever, and I don't see it right away, that's why I'm like in focus mode. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. I called the Nine out. I said I was gonna do it. I've been saying it for a while, and I did it. Somebody had to do it, and yeah, I've had enough. I've had absolutely enough of this vague, wishy-washy rubbish. And I'm gonna go really deep into it and explain why. Because, like I said earlier, there's a bit more going on here in terms of the story of Destiny as a whole, and how the factions are treated as a whole in the franchise. But that being said, the Nine have this coming, and they are more than deserving of it. So to begin, I want to talk about why I'm calling them out. And to begin that, I need to ask a question. What is also, sorry, just real quick, when I've been editing my VODs of these, I've noticed my microphone quality is not like the best, and there's like a bit of an echo and all that, and I do apologize for that. I think it's just the way my room is, and the fact that I talk a bit louder in these streams than in my videos, and then obviously I can't really edit like my audio, whatever. So, yeah, eventually I do plan on getting a better microphone and like better, noise canceling stuff in my room, but for now, we make do with what we got. But it is something I'm aware of, and if it's ever annoying, I do apologize. But anyway, my question to you: what is the point of the Nine? What is the point of the Nine when it comes to the story of Destiny? Because as much as Destiny is supposed to be a world, and Bungie says it's a living world, which it doesn't really feel like it, but as much as it's a world, every single faction, every single character, to a certain extent, some greater than others, some more easily visible or others, are pieces on the board. They all have purposes. And roughly speaking, you have your enemies and you have your allies. So again, what is the point of the 9? Back in Destiny 1, the 9 had pretty much zero presence in the game. The closest thing to the 9 we ever really got was Xur. And even then it was super vague. We have this weird looking dude with the tentacle face, and yeah, that's about it. That was our first introduction into the 9. And then when people began going through the Grimoire cards and trying to figure out what the 9 were there, again, it's just a lot of confusion because you get like 5 different things that the 9 could or couldn't be, and they all contradict each other, and it's all weird. And you have the one explanation saying that they're remnant of the darkness that were like punished by the Traveler or whatever, rebuked. And then you have other versions that they're like a group of ghosts, just all kinds of random stuff. And again, I would say the only significant influence that the 9 ever had inside of Destiny 1 was the fact that they did release Skolas. And to be fair, that did impact things. You had the House of Wolves, you had, I guess as an extension of that and as a result of that, are getting close to the Queen. But that's about it. The 9 didn't really, do that much in Destiny 1. And maybe I'm forgetting something, but I'm thinking about, main expansions and main stories and stuff like that. And then we come to Destiny 2. And Destiny 2 is where things begin to get different. But before we get into Destiny 2, I'm just going to ask this question again. What is the point of the 9? And I'm going to pull up a picture for you. That's not it. That is definitely not it. This is certainly not the picture. That just happens to not be it at all. I didn't put it in the folder like I was supposed to. Oh no. That can be easily resolved. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to put these two in this folder just so I don't have to... Okay. Replace. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Nice. And I will show you the picture now. Okay, so here we have our picture. And this is for Destiny 2. And as you can see, we began to get a bit more development with the 9 in Destiny 2. Now, for the record, I want to be really clear here. This stream is not going to be about us going super deep into the 9 lore and trying to figure them out. Because that's the trap. And we're going to get to that. But this was clearly for Trials of the 9. And we were pretty excited. I thought it was really cool. I actually think that in terms of the aesthetic and everything else, Destiny 2 Trials of the 9 was actually better than Trials of Osiris. Especially because the Destiny 1 Lighthouse is 10 times better than the Destiny 2 Lighthouse. The Lighthouse simulation. And yeah, we have some really cool art. And that is also how we were introduced to the character known as... this one, the Emissary. And again, who is she? She looks really weird, no offense. And she's got the cool looking eyes thing going on, and okay. And so we were kind of excited, at least I was, okay, cool. And long story short, nothing has really happened. And so I will ask you again, what is the point of the 9? And at least in Destiny 1, the point of the 9 in Destiny 1, in my opinion, was to be this vague, powerful faction that very much had the ability and the power requirements to be a major player in the game, but their time had not come yet. But when we move into Destiny 2, when we begin getting our Trials of the Nine, when we begin getting the Emissary and all of this stuff, this is a proper introduction, at least the beginning of a proper introduction into the faction. And so what you begin to see is a faction whose whole point of their existence seems to be this vagueness beginning to get stripped away. And the natural evolution of this vagueness disappearing and this information coming out is, again, that once we get enough information, then they're going to actually do stuff in the main story. And so the next thing that I want to talk about is, why am I calling them out? And the reason why I am calling the Nine out is because as a faction, as a unit for storytelling, if that's even a valid term, it is now because I said so, they are failing, and they are failures, and they are useless, and they have pretty much hit the point of irrelevancy. It's the exact same reason, and I know this is like the third stream in a row where I've mentioned this, it's the same main reason why I always bash on Beyond Light. Not just because I didn't like it, but because it did not fulfill its purpose, and it's the same with the Nine. Now fortunately the Nine were not as important as Beyond Light, but the fact is they are not fulfilling their purpose, which is to do anything. They're not doing anything. And what's insulting about this, them not following their purpose, is it isn't even that they have been set up for anything specific in the story. It isn't that they were supposed to do they weren't supposed to be a part of any specific event. They weren't supposed to help any specific character. There wasn't supposed to be a prophesied time when they were supposed to come in. The reason why them not fulfilling their purpose at all is so insulting is because not only are they not helping us, they are literally not helping themselves. Not only are they useless in terms of our needs, they are useless for their needs too. And so, at the end of the day, the track record has been laid out, the errors and the failures have been adding up, and we're at the point when the point of the Nine, their whole vagueness thing, is now no longer an acceptable feature of the faction, and it cannot hide the fact that they are pretty much useless and just kind of put to the side. But it wasn't always that way. It was not always that way. Can you move? Okay. We had a golden age. Now, this was a golden age for Destiny as a whole, right? But it was a golden age for the Nine, and that was Forsaken. So yes, we had Trials of the Nine, but we didn't actually get that much information. Again, it was just kind of the beginning of a proper introduction for the faction. And then we had Curse of Osiris. Nothing really happening there. Fair enough. Warmind, as far as I can remember, nothing that, substantial. But then we get Gambit. And Gambit, as we're later told and shown, is connected to the Nine. They have an interest in this. And then with Joker's Wild, Season of the Drifter, that is when it really, really kicks up. There we go. Shut up. Now the one thing that Base Forsaken did, of course, show is that they were working with the Queen. And we already kind of suspected as much. We knew from Destiny 1 that the Nine and the Queen and the Awoken kind of had a bit of an agreement and a bit of a, not an alliance, but a bit of a, I don't know. They were on talking terms. And with Forsaken, we learned through the one Queen's Court mission, or whatever, it wasn't really a mission, but more of just like a cutscene, that they were helping Mara prepare for something. And that something was obvious, and it was the Black Fleet. And this was another thing that added on to the building up of the pyramids for 3 years. Again, the pyramids were revealed day 1 of Destiny 2. And you had your DLCs and you had your stories, but consistently the pyramids were being built up. Everybody knew that they were on their way, and every so often they were very clearly reminded of that. The easiest way of doing that is showing the other characters in the world also being aware of that and also preparing for them. So the 9 are preparing for the pyramids. And this was explained a bit better later on, but in Base Forsaken you could kind of guess why that was. Because the pyramids were clearly coming to bring a second collapse. The pyramids were clearly coming to do something to the Traveler, either destroy it or destroy us. And very clearly that went against what the 9 wanted, and so they were helping Mara, or Mara was helping them, get ready for this. And there's this talk of move the asset into position beyond the grave of the first flag. Who cares? Who knows what that is? And then, from Base Forsaken, we come to Season of the Drifter, Joker's Wild, whatever it is. And we get the Invitations of the 9 missions. And we get the Reckoning activity. And both of them served different purposes. Reckoning was between us and the 9. Invitations was more of... Invitations of the 9, I want you to imagine you're in a season, right? And you go to Mara. Let's say next season you go to Mara. Okay. And you talk to her. And then you leave her, and it tells you to go to the helm and go to the terminal. And then you talk to her from the terminal, but she's talking to somebody else. And so you're awkwardly in this Discord server listening to the 2 characters talk. Think about that, but with a better budget, and that's kind of what Invitations of the 9 was. I understand I may have ruined the seasonal experience for you now. I apologize. I apologize. But that's kind of what it was. And for the most part, Invitations was us learning very little about the 9. The 2 key things that I can remember and that I know of with Invitations of the 9. Well, the three key things. The first key takeaway is the basic one, which is that they know about the pyramids and that they're preparing for them. The second one is that they are trying to learn about us, and they're trying to learn about, I guess, humanity and... I don't know, the way their minds work. They aren't able to comprehend certain behaviors and whatnot, and it's something, right? But in the big scheme of things, it's kind of pointless. And then the third thing is also kind of pointless, but it's learning about the relationship between Drifter and the character who would later become the emissary. And then as for Reckoning, it kind of just felt like, I don't know, man. I kind of felt like a lab rat, you know? I'm getting put in this room and just said, go kill stuff and we're going to watch you and take notes. That's kind of all it was, I'm going to be honest with you. That was kind of it. Yeah. Yeah. And at the same time, we had the link to Gambit. So Drifter is specifically instructed to keep running Gambit. And and the thing is, it's not just that he's instructed to keep doing Gambit. He is literally given the means. I'll go back to the... He is literally given the means. Gambit, and it's, well, whatever state it's in, right? Rest in peace. It wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the 9. Okay. You know what? Okay. I said that we would probably be better off without the 9 if they never existed. If the 9 didn't exist, we wouldn't have Gambit. Now, maybe you don't like Gambit, and maybe you do like Gambit. I still think that's kind of funny, and I kind of think that's a bit of a win. But anyway. But long story short, Gambit is tied to the 9's plans. Okay, cool. What's more is in that same period then as well, we're getting even more 9 lore. We have the 9 lore about that, what's her name, the Cryptarch. And she is obsessed with the 9 and figuring out how they work, and she interrogates Zur. She straight abuses an Ahamkara bone in the city and gets banished, and long story short, gets yeeted into the 9's realm by them. And that is where we actually just get some straight up information. That is where we learn about how the 9 are split into 2 factions. That is how we learned that one of the 9 was straight up responsible for Gaul causing as much damage as he did. And that is where we learn what their ultimate goal is. Their goal is to get beyond their current state of existence, which is them being really tied to the planets. And it's never straight up said that they are the planets. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I don't think anybody can give you a straight up solid answer on that, but they exist, I would argue, in a more spiritual sense, in a non-physical way, right? And they're very much tied down and anchored to the planets. And outside of their realm of the 9, they don't really have much influence. Not really. Now, that doesn't excuse them for not helping us, for the record. If they can send Zur to give us exotics, like, bro, they can make something up and send it to us, okay? Okay. So, yeah, now we know what the 9 want. So, we have, what is the point of the 9? It's the whole vagueness, the mystery. But now with Destiny 2, that's beginning to change, because now we're seeing that they're getting ready to directly get involved in a future event, which is the pyramids. So all this time, the most they ever really did was Skolas. Now we're getting Gambit, Reckoning, Invitations of the 9, and it's all connected to the pyramids. Everything is building up. Remember what I said in the beginning. The 9 are super vague and you don't know anything about them, but they are powerful enough to qualify as very powerful players in the game. Very powerful pieces on the board. And so they are prioritizing the really big threat, which is, of course, the pyramids. And so that is why I'm saying that this whole, oh, well, their purpose is being vague and mysterious, is now no longer acceptable. Because Forsaken moved them out of that category. And we began to get more and more information. But not just information, we began to get plans. And what's also important is that with that lore in Season of the Drifter, we have that purpose, which is 1, try and escape the state of being that they're in. And 2, keep the solar system safe. Because if the planets go bye-bye, they go bye-bye. And those two things are connected to the pyramid race and the pyramids coming in. Because if the pyramids come in and they destroy the Traveler, they lose. And obviously, now that we know about the Veil and the linking and all that, if the final shape gets what it wants, or sorry, not the final shape, sorry, if the Witness gets what it wants, the 9 lose. If the Witness kills us all, the 9 lose. So we have the 9's goals and their priorities. And we now have a glimpse of their plans, and the two are aligned. I mean, obviously, this is basic, right? But it makes sense. I'm spelling this out for you. This is all contained within a few months of Forsaken. All of this is in a few months of Forsaken. You have 3 years of Destiny 1. You get a couple months in D2, and we have this much information. And the reason why is simple. They were being prepared, and they were preparing to be a major player. And that was the golden age of the Nine. Ever since season of the Drifter, it has been pitiful. So this is where we get into the strikes, okay? Listen, I'm not a very patient guy when it comes to characters, right? I will either immediately like them or dislike them. But characters who I don't really have an opinion on, or even that I think are cool, right? I won't just hate them immediately depending on what they do. I'll kind of give them a bit of a leeway, right? There are, of course, exceptions to the rule. We have our infamous one-strike character, right? The one-strike wonder.
Oh.
I want you to move when you're not... Wait, what? Okay. What button did I press differently to make you change that time? I don't understand. This is the one-strike wonder. I don't care if I like you. I don't care if you're really cool. I don't care if you're really powerful. Or even if there's no lore about you at all. If I know that you have deserted humanity in probably its, I would argue, its most important battle, that's it. You're out. You're done. I don't care. I don't care. I don't really care. And this is the one-strike wonder. So we do have exceptions to the rule. But we also have, and I didn't actually put this in the, I didn't put this in the folder. I should have put this in the folder. Guys, why didn't you tell me to put this in the folder? We are experiencing technical difficulties, Guardian. And of course it's a WebP, and so I can't just open it. I have to convert it. Why do you have to be a bingus? Why do you have to be a bingus? Convert. Do it. Do it. Thank you. Open sesame. There we go. Rasputin hit his 3 strikes. GG. He's literally out. Okay, like no pun intended. He's done. He's done. He's GG. But yeah, Rasputin literally had one job. Literally had one job. Literally, it was his job, and he failed it several times. And not only did he fail, but he tried to hype us up and make us have faith in him before failing each time. Let's go over what the strikes were for the 9. And if you watched my video, then you already know where I'm going with this. But I'm going to go into more detail. Do you know what I feel like? I feel like in The Incredibles, that one scene where Mr. Incredible gets out of his car and he tries to close his car door and it won't close, and then he finally slams the car door and it closes, and then the window shatters. That's how I feel right now. Oh, now it works. Okay. Strike 1. The collapse. Now, I am pretty confident that the 9 existed before the collapse. Okay? There's lore that goes for whether, like, for both, it being yes or no. But I think majority of it is yes, for sure. The 9 did nothing to stop the collapse. Now maybe they hadn't figured out that they needed the Traveler. Maybe they had zero interest in us. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't excuse the fact that our system probably would have gone bye-bye. The whole universe would have probably gone bye-bye, or at least changed in a way that would have really not suited them. But let's say they did. Let's just say, hypothetically, they were interested in the Traveler and us and all that. They didn't really do a great job of keeping us alive. Also, in case you're curious, this is from a scrapped alternative version of. I don't know. I don't know if this was. I think this might have been like for an intro cinematic for Destiny 2. I don't think this was the Traveler's vision. But anyway. Yeah, they didn't really do a good job of keeping us alive. So. Pretty, let's strike one. But that was before we were around. Maybe. I don't know when we died. Whatever. Okay. Okay, fine. Strike one, I'm still counting it, but they kind of have leeway. Oh, also, actually, real quick. There's no excuse for this. Bro, why is it that Mara can make them annoyed just by having her brother's ships go too close to their territory, so they release Skolas? And then the Vex go and do this, and they're like, I don't know, I don't know what, it's whatever. Bro. Let me just put it like this, right? If you think that this is not a big deal. We know from the dark future in Curse of Osiris that they do something to our sun. Now, I don't know if it's really that bad, but my point is that, like, they also actually, sorry, Mercury's core is, like, gone. I think this is a really big threat to the Nine, but they did nothing. So they straight up lost Mercury. GG. Like, I don't understand. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't understand it, man. So yeah, strike one. But this is the big one. This is really the big one right here. Because we've established that yes, they do want us, and the Traveler mainly, that it's in their interests to keep us alive, that they want to keep the system safe. Okay. Not only do they do nothing to stop Gaul, but one of them straight up lets his fleet come in and destroys our satellites. Also, I'm just gonna say, bro, if they can destroy satellites, then how come they... Okay, you get what I'm trying to say. And I know some of you are thinking, or maybe you would say this, but it was just one of them. I don't care. They're called the Nine. They are a group. It's not hard to keep track of 8 other things. I don't know what they are. That is their fault. I don't care if it's just the one. That is all on them. That is on all of them. All of them. The fact that they allowed that to happen. The fact that... And you know what? You know what? In this situation, this was directly the Nine's fault. I want you to look at this picture, and I want you to remember that this is directly the Nine's fault. You would think that the Nine would look at this after punishing the one or whatever, and they'd be like, do you know what? Not only does this go against literally everything that we want, not only is this going to theoretically put the whole solar system in danger, but this was actually our fault. We're kind of obligated to do something. Like our bad guys, but you know, this is our peace offering. Here, we'll help you this way. And I don't think Trials of the Nine counts as that. So Gaul comes in. Kills a ton of people. But he also kills a ton of Guardians too. I know of at least the fact that the first Titan Order, the Firebreak Order, which they are the guys that literally will fight to the death on the walls, they got like almost completely destroyed, if not entirely. These are losses that cannot be just replaced. So that's a huge chunk of Guardians and civilians gone. And they never say this, right? They never give you the stats. But at least for Guardians, because Guardians would have been actually like fighting, in my opinion, I would not be surprised if over 50% of Guardians were killed in the Red War. I wouldn't be surprised. You consider how many Guardians died in the city, but then how many Guardians were literally like fighting in strikes, or were on patrol, or just fighting in general, and then their light leaves them. It's literally Order 66, where you're out in a dangerous environment, and then oh no, you're screwed. And yeah, I think that would have killed over 50% just from them losing their light. But regardless, in the city, yeah, a lot of Guardians, in my opinion, died. Then the Traveler gets imprisoned. Not only does that make things worse for the Guardians and humanity, but that's also then, like, the Nine now have lost any hope or access to the light. That's their whole plan and their whole goal now unobtainable. Unless the nerds in the other group manage to make the black hole or whatever. But it gets worse. Because then Gaul comes along and he begins to siphon the light out of the Traveler. In my opinion, we don't know if the Traveler has an infinite source of light. I don't know, right? If it does have a finite amount of light, he probably would have drained it all. But regardless, he was a god. Like, actually. Like, he was never given the chance to do anything, but that is like... I think beneath the Gardener and the Winnower, that god Gaul was probably the most powerful character in the universe. Underneath the Winnower and the Gardener. Yes, that thing, the light being, could beat Rolk. Easily. Bro, it's like 25 times the size of Rolk. On a bad day. Right? You think Rolk's gonna stomp that? What's he gonna do? Stomp Gaul's light toe and then give it an ingrown toenail? Like, that's the most amount of damage it's gonna do. So again, that's a severe threat to the Nine. And then finally, you have the Almighty, which is pointed at our sun. Now, to be fair, there's actually a chance that if with Gaul winning and getting the light, that he would have ordered the Almighty to stop the whole process. Who's to say he doesn't just pack up and leave the city with the light and then just have the system blown up for the giggles? So not only is this, like, the plan for the Nine lost, now their existence is directly threatened. Strike 2. And again, they were directly responsible for this. I don't have a picture for this, do I? I'm a bingus. I keep doing this, man. Long story short. The Golden Age of Nine lore. Not only do we learn about information about the Nine, but we actually gain their plans and their goals, which align in the form of them resisting and helping us resist the Pyramid Fleet. It didn't really happen. Season of Arrivals happens. Rasputin, who promised that, oh, I am so powerful, loses instantly. And the 9 sit back and do nothing while the pyramids take 4 destinations. Not only are the pyramids literally a threat to humanity and the Traveler, not only are the pyramids like, what was it? They're a threat to humanity and the Traveler. They are literally a threat to the 9 because they took 4 planets, and I guess whatever 9 are attached to those destinations are fine, I guess. I don't know. But we don't know that. Like, why would they just... do you think they actually knew what would happen if the planets got taken? You think they were just like, oh, we have no idea, but we're just going to find out? Maybe it'll kill us, maybe it won't. Let's just roll the dice. It's stupid. So not only does it go against them wanting us to be alive, and the Traveler being alive, but it actually threatens their existence directly. And finally, this was literally what they were preparing for. The whole time. It was to stop the pyramids, or at least try. And what do? They give us prophecy, which is basically just them being like, yeah, these 4 destinations are going to go bye-bye. Also, we're super vague and mysterious. Also, the light and darkness are really just 2 sides of the same coin. Isn't that trippy, guys? Whoa. There is no good or evil. It's all gray. Whoa. Yeah, we're kind of, you know, failing at our plans, and we might actually lose like 4 out of the 9 or something. But it just, like, guys, this dungeon. Wow, look what we can do. Look what we can do inside of our realm. But we can't do anything outside of that. Wow. That's strike 3. They do nothing. Nothing that's useful or helpful in any way, shape, or form. The Queen doesn't do anything either. For that matter. And then we have the final strike. And no, it is not the Tanax Ascended strike that they're currently working on during the final shape delay. Guardian face Tanax the Ascended. Literally, he has the light and he has all 3 darkness subclasses. Boom. Lightfall happens. The 9 do nothing when the pyramids... They lit the pyramids, get all the way through the system, and all the way to Earth. Now, this was... I'm not going to lie, this was a pretty garbage cinematic in my opinion, because the pyramids did nothing. Now, okay, I'm not trying to bash on the people who made the cinematic, right? I'm talking about like a... Okay. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, there's, like, what you see, humanity has 3 ships, 4 ships... What, and then it's just, where are these explosions even coming from? Who's even causing these explosions, bro? What's going on? Anyway, but still they do nothing. So how many Guardians and civilians, and I guess, you know, the alliance between the Fallen, the Cabal, and all of that, how many of them died? Who knows? But then there's the big problem. They just sit and do nothing while the Witness goes inside and gets its final shape. Now, it took the Witness, it might take him more than a year to get his final shape with the way things are going, but if we were being completely realistic, I think it should have only taken the Witness at most a couple of days to get whatever it wanted. Now, there are theories that this was actually the beginning cinematic for the final shape. That would make sense. I would be okay with this being the beginning cinematic of an expansion where this same story gets concluded. Regardless, unless the 9 literally saw into the future, and they knew that the one reality where we won involved them letting the Witness get inside the Traveler, That is a massive failure on their part, and you got to remember. No, actually, real quick. I know I'm kind of going on a bit long, but real quick. In this instance, the Nine had a chance to redeem themselves in a massive way. And it was by helping us get into the Traveler. And that is why, and I had said this to friends, and maybe I said it on stream, and I think I said it in a video too, this is why I really wanted next season to be about the Nine. Because this would act as their redemption. They don't. Once we get inside the Traveler, there's nothing they can do to help us once we're inside. So, yeah, that's Strike 4, and, like, if we weren't just the best in the world, you know, if we weren't just the absolute, just the best, the Nine are basically doomed. So those are the 4 strikes of the Nine. These are 4 different times where they have done nothing and sometimes made things worse that not only go against their goals, but that threaten their entire existence. And again, before... Why? Oh, this is... And it's all his fault, too. Sorry. I'm sorry, Chief. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Forsaken was about them preparing for all of this. Now, maybe not the collapse, sure, whatever, but at least for strikes 3 and 4, nothing. And so, knowing that next season is not going to be about the Nine, I am calling them out. 100% I'm calling them out. And my final point that I have listed here is the future of the Nine. Like Final Shape or beyond. Again, they aren't helping us get into the Traveler. And once we're inside the Traveler, I really don't think that you're going to hear anything about them at all. Because they can't do anything. They can't. Bro, if they have minimal influence outside of their realm, do you think that they can have any influence inside of the Traveler? I don't think so. And then beyond that, do you know what's going to happen? Bungie is going to circle back to the first point. What is the point of the Nine from Destiny 1? Be vague and mysterious and slowly give us more information over time. Oh, and before I forget, dude, Dares of Eternity counts for nothing. I don't give a crap about the pony. The pony is a waste of space, and it's just goofy comedy that is just fluff. The Nine were used for filler fluff. That's all it was. I don't count that for anything. Bro, we're straight up about to lose the Traveler, and they're putting on a game show. I'm losing brain cells. I'm losing my mind. I would not be surprised if after the Final Shape, and after the first 3 episodes, we may be getting an episode about the Nine, and it's, ooh, learn about the truth of the Nine, and meet them one by one, and unfortunately, there was a point in time where I actually would have cared. Now I don't care. Because now I'm going to look at them the way I look at the Neomuni on Neptune and be like, you could have helped us and you didn't. You could have helped us, and you didn't. And if you were not capable of helping, then why did you make a show of it? That you were preparing to do something. And so, I'm calling them out. They're useless. They're incompetent. They're not to be relied on. And quite frankly, we would be better off if they didn't exist. But before I end this, I just want to say, real quick, that this is an indication and a symptom of a larger problem. I didn't really say this in my video. I actually edited it out. But the 9 are a fictional group. The reason why things happen, and the reason why things don't happen, is because of the writers. And the reality is that the writers don't know how to handle the 9. And what I mean by that is that they don't know where to put them and they don't know how to use them. I will tell you what I think was supposed to happen. I think that golden age of the 9 information didn't happen in the Forsaken era for accident. I think that they were being prepared to be a major player in Destiny 3. And I know we kind of talked about this last week with Destiny 3 stuff and yada yada yada, but again, it's pretty much confirmed Destiny 3 was in the works right after Forsaken started. And so that was their time to kind of begin to, I guess, build things up, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, right? But when you look at the fact that after the Forsaken era, they drop off the face of the earth, except for really just really insignificant things, it does seem like the plan for the 9 on Bungie's end kind of got derailed. Because I personally don't believe that when they were building up the 9 so much in Forsaken, that they were thinking the whole time that they were just going to never do anything really significant with them again afterwards. So I believe that the 9 got derailed. And this is different, in my opinion, to Rasputin. Because I think Rasputin was always kind of useless, to be fair. What the 9 are similar to, however, are the Vex. What are the point of the Vex? The point of the Vex are to be an enemy faction who are vast and mysterious and super vague. And you have some basic information about them and what they want, but they're just very alien. They're the most alien faction out of all of them. Have we had like any major Vex expansions since Curse of Osiris that also went into super big detail about like them and their origins and all that? No, not really. The most we ever really got, in my opinion, was the Beyond Light Collector's Edition, talking about the closed Bray stuff and the Vex on Europa. What is the purpose of the Vex? Because they're just supposed to be the vague, mysterious alien faction, they're just used whenever it's convenient. They're used as filler. That is it. They are used when it is convenient. And the same has now become true for the 9. The 9 seemingly don't really have a story anymore. The 9 are just used when it's convenient. The issue is that this isn't about convenient. This isn't about when you can use some 9 assets to make some filler. The issue is now you have built them up to be present at certain events. And because your story with the 9 got derailed, you haven't put them there, and so that completely breaks their narrative, in my opinion. Now, this hasn't happened with the Vex because the Vex don't really have a story. Now, allegedly they did in vanilla Destiny 1, like OG Destiny 1, but that's different. So that is why I'm calling them out. I am calling out the 9 because the 9, in my opinion, have been, for lack of a better word, kind of discarded in the real world side of things. And in-game, if everything in-game was not because of, the real world and writing and all of that, this is the history of the faction and whatever. I am calling them out because they're useless, They have proven themselves to be useless. They sometimes cause more harm than good. And overall, I am no longer really interested in their capabilities as players in the game. Do I care about learning more about them? Sure, of course. Why not? You know, of course. And I didn't. I didn't. But like I could go really deep into trying to figure out stuff about the 9, you know? But that's supposed to be done while you're excited for seeing what are they going to do next. That's done now. There is nothing. The 9, if the 9 don't show up and do something crazy next season, or they do something crazy in Forsaken, there is nothing that the 9 can do that will redeem them. So, like, okay, fine, I'll learn about them, and that's kind of cool, but I have no excitement. So that's why I'm calling them out. They're in the same category as Rasputin. They're officially useless. I think it's an absolute shame. I think it's just, you know, the way things are just kind of going on over at Bungie. And I know, okay, I want to be really clear. This is my final thing that I want to say. I can appear harsh towards the narrative team. And I want to say that it's very, I understand that it's very difficult to, like, I don't think anybody is in directly a position to put blame on specific people or whatever, because at the end of the day, the narrative people have their own bosses. The narrative team can make the best storylines, but somebody who's not in the narrative team, who is above them, can have them scrap it and make something that's less quality and, you know, less, I guess, decent. But when I do seem harsh, and when I do specifically mention the writing and the narrative team, it is because I am trying to make it very clear what the real world reason is. And the real world reason why the 9 are the way they are, this is a purely writing thing. And this is, in my opinion, because they had an original purpose in how they were going to be used in the overall story and the overall game. And in my opinion, because that got derailed, I think that really threw the writing off track. And I don't think they really, the narrative team, I don't think they really know where they can put them in and how they can fit them in. And I understand that, and I sympathize with that. You know, you only have a certain amount of bandwidth, you only have a certain amount of campaign missions, you only have a certain amount of lore books. And to a certain extent, yes, you can make 9 lore books as much as you want, but again, this is a faction that has earned itself in cutscenes, and so, you know, you gotta try and find the right time to fit that, and you can find yourself perpetually just not in a position to be able to do that. And so I sympathize with the narrative team. Do I think that there are times when there is just bad writing? Yes. 100% yes. But I do not think that that bad writing is always 100% because of bad writers. There's a very, very big difference. Again, I said it before last stream, and I'll say it again. If you take the narrative team and you make them scrap an expansion story a couple of months before the expansion, and you get them to make one on the spot, it's probably going to be a lesser quality than the previous one. It has a higher chance of that. And so yes, maybe I will say that is bad writing, but it doesn't necessarily always reflect on the writers. Now, some things, in my opinion, kind of are easier to pick out than others, but when it comes to the 9, yes, I think that they are the result of unfortunate writing. But I can also see some of the things that may have been happening in the background that made it really difficult to do the 9 well. And so I honestly, as much as I'm calling out the 9, I think the 9 as a story and as a group of characters or an entity, I think it's kind of a tragedy. And I wouldn't be surprised if people at Bungie and the narrative team are also kind of just disappointed with how it turned out. I'm sure they might have wanted it to be better, you know. So in the future, and for this, you know, whenever I kind of sound harsh towards the writers, I'm not attacking them. I'm just making it clear that it is important to differentiate that this isn't just how these characters are acting. They're acting or they're not acting because of the writing, right? But again, I'm not going after the writers directly. And that's basically it. That's everything. I know I kind of rambled on there, but I think that this could be one of the last times we really ever talk about the 9, because I just don't see any substantial, and I hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I will make a video saying I was wrong about the 9. I will apologize to the 9, okay? And I will tell you what I will do, okay? If I am wrong about the 9, I will go and I will buy as much from Xur as I can until I am no longer able to. That'll do it. But I think that this is kind of the future, right? Well, this is the past, but you know, I think the doing nothing and being the vague, kind of goofy and mysterious for the sake of it, I think that that is where they have been returned to, and that is where I think they will stay. So that is my TED Talk about the 9 and why I'm calling them out. Thank you for that, GG. And yeah, no, that's everything. That's everything I have to say. So now I'm going to chill with you guys for a beat. Were there any images, actually, other images that were... No, I kind of went through them all. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let me see what you guys have to say. My flat knowledge of the game despite 2 hours... Yeah. The 9 is probably another case of Bungie lack of ideas, but it was too late to chop them down. I actually think it was mainly probably my theory about they were intended for much bigger things, and then when that went out the window, it kind of got a bit difficult to fit them in the current state of... But listen, like, I don't want to be like, well, I'm sure they could have done something, because I don't know. Or they're safe for the next saga. Yeah, potentially. But the thing is, the fact that they were being built up for this saga, that is what makes them now irredeemable. I will check Discord. Excuse me. My friend has messaged me and he says, I can give you a definitive answer for what the 9 actually are. They are sentient dark matter within the core of soul celestial bodies. But there's still like a lot of like, well, how does that work? You know? There's still a lot of, I don't fully understand this going on. Nice. My friend Max is playing Diablo, and he got one of the rarest items in the game. That's really good, dude. Okay, I think it literally just has like flat stats. I don't think there's like a roll on it. That's really good, dude. That's so good. GG. Excuse me. Destiny has been giving some Lost vibes lately. Yeah. Cryo? I don't know if you're still here. I'm going to Google Translate what you said. I apologize. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. Why are the 9 so... That's a good question. So Cryo asks, why are the 9 so absent lately? It's a good question. And I hope in that, like, when I was talking, I hope that I kind of answered that for you. But if you want me to talk a bit more about it, just let me know. And also, thank you for being here. I think this is like the first time I've seen you here. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you are enjoying yourself. You're having a great day. Hey, Clone, how you doing, man? I just finished my spiel about the 9 and all that. Explanation about the 9 question, what is their purpose? Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. And then, hey, Marks. How you doing? I think this is the first time I've seen you here, too. If you're still here, hope you're doing well, and I hope you are enjoying the stream. Okay, I will translate again from you, Cryo. And by the way, am I... Okay, you do see the chat. Okay, we're good. All right. Can we just... There we go. I think the 9 are constantly arguing with each other. That might be, but in my opinion, the one who did the Gaul stuff, they say that it was punished. I'm going to guess that that one was on the side who didn't really care about the Traveler or us. I mean, it kind of has to be, right? Depending on how hard they punished it, I wouldn't be surprised if now the odds are more kind of leaning towards the group who do care about us and the Traveler. So I feel like they'd have a bit more leeway, but I still think regardless of the reason, like, at least if they had established that, you know, or if there had been a coup, not coup, sorry, but like a very clear conflict happening between them, but that doesn't happen, so it's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I know there's a lot of streams who are like English only, but I really don't mind just translating. So if it's more comfortable for you to type in your own language, I'm perfectly fine with that. Whatever works for you. I'm not sure if it's relevant, but there are voice lines of Zur saying, "Do the reef dwellers know they live upon a corpse?" I did not know that. Yeah, it's very interesting, like especially the Mercury one, but like again, if they care about the planet so much, why aren't they doing anything to stop the Vex? Jupiter can be seen in the middle of Zur's treasure hoard. Yeah, maybe, actually. Fair, fair. Hey, Mimo. Sunbreakers. Yeah. Oh, true, the Sunbreakers, Mimo. Oh, you're so correct. You're so correct. Yes, the Sunbreakers got wiped out. Thank you for reminding me, Mimo. Mimo. I don't know hope I'm pronouncing that right. Also, again, first time. We're getting a lot of first time people here. It's great to see all of you, and hope you're enjoying yourselves. And yeah, it's really great having you. The Gaul point is actually really, yeah. It's like, come on, man. It's like there's no. It's just. I don't know. There's no way that they can put it that's not terrible. Also in Season of Dawn, the Red Legion rewrote the Red War, so they won. Yeah. I mean, there you go. Like, it's just... And you know what's funny? In that future, the 9 probably did nothing too. Master Chief should have... Ah, bro. I know, right? If Master Chief existed, or was alive in this universe, we wouldn't have half of our problems. I only wish they finished Destiny and let us let us die and make D3. Hey Errol. I really want Destiny 3. And unfortunately, I personally think that and I've said this a few times, there are only 2 reasons why they will ever make a D3. The first is if Marathon doesn't do well enough to replace Destiny 3, because I don't think Destiny 2 is sustainable for a very long time. Like, I don't think they can keep going for like 3 years, right? Then they will be forced to, in my opinion, work on a Destiny 3 because they know that will make them money. The second reason, and there's a chance it won't happen, but there's a chance it might, is if Sony, because the thing is Sony, like Activision, they understand the power that, you know, you can be making DLCs and whatever, but let me put it like this, right? There is a demographic of people who will not buy Final Shape. Maybe they haven't bought the previous 2 expansions, but they'll 100% buy Destiny 3. They know that. And yes, I think if they make a Destiny 3, I do not think it will be free to play. So those are my 2, I think, conditions for a Destiny 3 happening. Do I want a Destiny 3 to happen? I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of that's purely going to depend on how this next expansion story plays out. Because I care about the story over the gameplay with Destiny. And, like, don't get me wrong, I love the gameplay, 100%, but if I'm playing the game and the story is garbage, I'm kind of turned off a little bit, so. As I wrote under the video, gameplay needs are ahead of lore and logic sense. Yes, 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 I know what you mean, yes. Hey, Photon. Do we know what their significance could have been in the D3 leak story? Okay, so I'm not confirming that this is real. I want to be very clear about this. I am not confirming that this is real. Okay. This was a leak for D3 that actually got some things right. So, in terms of the future of the game, because this was back in Forsaken. The 9 are also big players. Their help gets enlisted after the Veil take the system, where you meet each of them. And that's basically it. There's a number of factions. Yeah, that's basically it. Trials of the 9 is hosted by the 9 themselves. They're the heads of their own faction, which is based around ranking up in trials. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I think the biggest thing is that they directly helped us, again, against the pyramids, potentially. Again, I'm not saying this league was real. And then if they had a faction around Trials of the 9, they would have represented it themselves. I'm going to be honest with you, though. These are very tame things that have happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happened in the story. But again, I'm not saying that it's a factual leak. Whoa, 16 people on stream. Everybody who's here, I just want to say I am really, really grateful and appreciative of you being here. And I honestly have been having such a great time doing this every single week. So, so far, I've been doing this every Wednesday and Friday. Depending on how I'm able to do, like, productivity-wise and all that, because I'm really grinding, I might look at streaming more days. If I'm able to stream more days, I would be doing like longer streams that are just kind of just me, just playing Destiny or doing whatever, right? And then at the same time, I really love doing these extended discussions. And also, for those of you who are here that are new or you don't like whatever, basically I have like my spiel, which is like the actual extended like version of the video that it's connected to. And later what I do is I go and I edit that part of the VOD and then I upload it as its own video. So if you're coming in here midway through or you're late and, you know, whatever, you can see that, you know, later on. Also, I've been considering, this isn't definite, but I have been considering taking those videos, the extended, like the full versions, and putting those onto my second channel because I don't want to clutter things too much. Yes, it's really great for the algorithm, but I also don't want to clutter things, and I want the experience to be enjoyable for you guys. So if that is something that I do, and for the record, like if I move it to my second channel, I won't be getting any ad revenue or anything from that because that channel's not monetized. But I really care about the integrity and the core experience of the channel, and I don't want it to be irritating in any way for you guys to be looking at my channel and then seeing like that layout of the way the videos are uploaded. So it is something that I am considering. But if I do make a decision and I do move it, I will probably make a video about that and I'll give you all a heads up. But to all of you who are here, whether it's your first time or whatever, I'm really, really grateful for all of you, and this has been really fun doing this with you guys, and I look forward to doing it in the future too. I don't think we'll ever know about that photon unless it gets leaked. Yeah. Speaking of leaks, there have been paste bins, but nothing that seems to be like really that true. So I don't really think we're ever going to get a paste bin like we did in Witch Queen. So before Witch Queen came out, basically a guy left Bungie, or either left Bungie or was still in Bungie, I don't know, and they pretty much just spilled the beans on everything. Like everything. And the leak was pretty much 100% correct. Pretty much. Perhaps their issues could be fixed if the next saga is about the Winnower. Maybe. But, you know, I personally really want it to be about the Winnower. I do. I really do. But, first of all, we don't really know if we're going to get another big expansion. Second of all, there's a chance that these episodes will be completely isolated and will have no form of a greater story being built up in the background. So it really depends. I don't know. But, you know, I might make a video. I'll tell you this, right? Next week, I obviously would like to make a video about the season that's coming out. It's going to be kind of tricky. I don't like making lore videos about lore for the sake of it, right? If it's not that interesting. But I would like to make a video that's about next season once it comes out, so we'll see. I also want to make a video about why we technically are the final shape, and why we probably will achieve the final shape ourselves. But, yeah, I would like to see... Also, to be fair, I think there's a good chance that next season might have hints for what will come in the final shape in terms of lore and stuff like that. So, you know what I might do is I might stream on Tuesday, and if you guys are interested, you can hang out with me. And when the new season launches, we can do that together, but also I will go through like the new lore and see if we can find any juicy stuff. Kind of like when Haunted came out and then we found the Nezaric's Whisper glaive. That was really cool. There's a website called Destiny Dialogue Archive that has all the voice lines from D2 launch to current. Really, I didn't know that. What I usually do is I go on Ishtar Collective and I look up the transcripts for missions. And then I just read all the dialogue from there. But I'll have to look into that other channel. Venex grinding again. Remember to oil that panini press. Bro, when I was in school, right, whether it be secondary school or college, I called myself the Waffle Meister. I was the I still am the Waffle Meister. You could give me a book, okay, and you could be like, I want you to read this book and write this essay about this very specific topic relating to the book. I will wait until the last day. And it will be physically, I don't know what it is, but it will be physically impossible for me to do anything. I cannot touch the keyboard. I cannot open the book. And then on that last day, when the 24-hour countdown begins, and I am at risk of dishonoring my family, the brain awakens, and I go onto the keyboard, and I turn on the monitor, and I look up the short summary notes of the book. I get a gist of what the book's about. I look at whatever the topic is. I find one or two key moments that are related to that topic. And then we put on the waffle cooker and we waffle. And I will act as if I am the one and only true expert on that book. I remember specifically I did this with Frankenstein. And not only will I act as if I'm an expert, but if the topic has its own kind of like inherent, like implied opinion, I will act as if, no, you are actually wrong, whoever wrote this question, because of this. I know the book better than you do. And it worked, boys. It worked. I remember I got the Frankenstein essay back, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, that's a good essay. You know what you're talking about. I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah, yes, I do. But anyway, yes, I am grinding away. I am fiercely determined. And, I guess really quickly, I will talk about, like, yes, I've been uploading a lot lately, a lot more than in the past, and I'm really a man on a mission, I guess you could say. And but that being said, I'm very like my goal, right? And I'm gonna be completely transparent about this. My goal is to be able to make a living off of YouTube. That is my goal for sure. But at the same time, I am very, very, very cautious, and I am very I am always prioritizing making sure that whatever I do, it is putting the viewer's interests and making the core experience good for you guys. And, you know, like I've been approached by sponsors and I've said no. And I've been and it's not like I'm too good for sponsors, but they just weren't really, you know, I just didn't feel good about them. And I you know, if I ever do have sponsors on this channel, it's going to be because you know, I either A, think that it's actually something that, you know, you guys would be interested in, or B, it's actually you know, it's something that I don't mind promoting in general. Like, you know, maybe I don't have an interest in it, but it is something that is somewhat useful or good or whatever. But yeah, like I just overall, like I'm a man on a mission, right? I'm really trying to get 2,000 subscribers, and I'm really trying to I guess grow. But I'm, you know, I don't listen. Like, we have more people than normal here, right? And that's amazing. But there's the core group of people that have been with me from the beginning. When when I wasn't consistent, when I was, you know, for whatever reason that might have been back in the day, or even in the future. And, you know, I really want to make sure that I always put the people first. Because at the end of the day, right, like none of this is possible without you guys. And I know that sounds really cheesy, right? Like, I know that sounds like that's what everybody says, but it's really true in this case. So, I'm doing my best, you know? I'm grinding, for sure. But I'm really doing my best to provide quality. But we'll see. Like, I'm not really happy with the current system in the sense that I would like to be making more videos per week. But I also don't want to burn myself out. So, you know, I'm looking at trying a few things, shaping up my schedule in different ways, and, you know, trying to be just more productive and stuff like that. And yeah, my goal is just to do my best and create a community that is really solid. And yeah, anyway, I know I just rambled on for 15 years, but GG. Yes, I am grinding. 100%. 100%. Okay, Story. Sorry, I didn't see your message, but yeah, I hope you have a good week. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. But yeah, no. Yeah. Also, guys, if you're here and you're interested, I recommend you join our Discord. Because, you know, if you want to be a part of a community that's big into theories and the lore and stuff like that, trying to figure stuff out, the more people like that we have, the better. And I really want the Discord to be a place where everybody can just share all kinds of theories and go digging into the lore. And then, like, you know, like, what do you think of this? And then another guy comes in and, well, actually, this would work better if it was this. And yeah. And at the same time, you can ask me questions. There's a channel for that, and so definitely check that out if you're interested. Yes. Raid. Do you know what I did? All right, this is maybe I shouldn't do this. I actually did this. I did this in case, just in case, and I don't know if you guys are gonna like. I don't know how you're gonna react to this. I'll be completely honest with you. Let me find it. I did a thing back in the day. Where did I put it? Actually, it might have gotten lost. I might have accidentally deleted it when I lost my... There was a time a few weeks ago and I accidentally deleted my whole downloads folder and I lost a lot of stuff. If I can't find it, I'll just say it, but if I can pull it up, I think that would be epic. For the record, okay, I will say this. For the record, it actually isn't a bad game. Like, I know people meme on it, but I did play it, and it isn't a bad game. It gets very grindy very quickly, and you do feel very incentivized to engage with the game. Let's put it like that. But the core game is actually fun. And I'm not even sponsored to say that. The core game is fun. And I think if you play it, I think there's a high chance that you'll have a lot of fun at first, and then once it gets like really slow and grindy, maybe you'll kind of get burned out. But no, it isn't. It genuinely is not a bad game. Of course, if you are a beluga and you have a lot of excess expenditure on your hands, the game is 10 out of 10. You'll win so much, you'll get tired of winning. And, okay, it's not in that folder. Guys, I might have lost it. If I don't find it, and then I later find it, I will put it in the Discord. Guys, I think it's gone. I don't see it. Uh-oh, stinky. I genuinely think we might have lost it. Dang. No. Okay, I'll just tell you what it was. So when I was grinding away at Raid Shadow Legends and I was having fun with it, I played in a tournament. So there's like tournaments that you can do. And I straight up won that tournament. I won that. And what I realized is, well, you know, if I start, you know, growing on YouTube, you know, I might get approached by Raid Shadow Legends. And so I was like, well, do you know what I can do? I can show them. I can show. Actually, wait. Maybe. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait no. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I might have sent it to my friend. I think that's too far back. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Wait, maybe. Wait a minute. Ooh. Come on. Do it, you bingus. Do it. Okay. No. Maybe if I go further down. There's no way I didn't send it to him. I definitely would have. Oh, no. I didn't send it. Okay, guys. I think I just lost my Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. I think this just ruined my whole week. Oh well. Okay, bye. Anywho. I didn't know you made videos, Ellie. Oh, you do? Oh wait, Alloy makes videos. I will subscribe. Wait a minute. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up a video. Wait a minute. No, no, wait a minute. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. I just realized. Like, I just realized I could have gotten, like, copyrighted or something. But anyway. I'm just gonna mute it just in case. Just in case. Yeah, so he does like guides, like Out of Bounds and. But yeah, anybody who's here, I definitely recommend that you check him. I don't have like subscribers like viewable and stuff like that. But just I'm sure just give him whatever you got, you know, for sure. Oh, he made a fan trailer. Wait a minute. He made a fan trailer. And he got copyrighted. Oh, I'm not playing that. I am playing Minesweeper on hardcore difficulty right now. I know this completely defeats the purpose. I know this completely defeats the purpose. I don't want to get copyrighted, but I appreciate the editing. So actually, as a YouTube tip for you, it doesn't really matter because it seems to be fine. But if you ever upload gameplay, or whatever, and you notice your bit rate is not really good, it partly might be because you're not using a high enough bitrate setting, like in your editing software. But basically, the cheat code that I found is that if you go here and you sorry, if you right click, no, okay, don't right click like that. If you right click and you hit stats and you look at the codecs, this is basically the lower quality codec, and the one you want is like VPO or something. And for 1080p, the ones that get that are usually ones that for videos that have a lot of viewers or like verified channels. That being said, there's a cheat code to get the higher quality codec, and that is to upload in 1440p. If you are able to, I would recommend you try that, because no matter who you are, how many views you get, 1440p is guaranteed to always get the better codec. Now, like, you seem to be fine, right? But I'm just advice in future, because I know I had that problem. It was really frustrating. Also, apologies if the bitrate for today's video was kind of bad. I think it came from the fact that I was scaling trailers and cinematics that some of them were like 720p, and I think that's kind of like a remnant of that. But yeah, I know that this completely defeats the purpose, not listening to the music. But no, I can, you know, I appreciate the editing, and I know that these things are a lot harder to make than they look. You know. So yeah, keep up the good work, man. Get the Crota. Yeah, boy. You got my boy Ekthar. Yeah, this is like this is a good trailer, dude. Yeah, look at that. He's got a little bit of art, got a little bit of artistry going on. You know, you get the hand. I see you. I see. Oh, you got the hand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you doing it, man. But yeah, no, I will watch this. I will watch this on my own time. When I won't get copyrighted. But yeah, guys, check out Alloy's channel, and I don't know like what your goals are and all of that, but no, keep up the great work, man. You're doing it. It wasn't a raid ad, boys. I won a tournament, and I was going to show it to them if they approached me and be like, hey, I'm not just some dude. I actually played the game, okay? I actually played the game. Shut up. I don't know what you guys are talking about with your raid ad. Okay. Bife just released a 9 video an hour after you did. Oh, of course. Also, good to see you, Luca. I know. I don't know. I don't know what his video was. What was his video? He never got back to me about like reactions and stuff like that. So I don't know, but the Ahamkara and the 9, did they make a bargain to transform Venus? I have no idea. I made the trailers as a fan project knowing I'd get copyrighted. Definitely recommended watching in your own time though. I'll try the 1440p. Like your videos seem to be perfectly fine, you know? Like you'll know if it's like blocky or whatever, but it's just if you ever do run into the issue and it's you know, and also if you ever look up bitrate stuff, YouTube's guides and recommended settings for bitrate, they're completely terrible. They say that whatever the resolution's at, you take the number they give you and you double it. So I think like it's like 18 for 1080p at 60 FPS, which is like not for like I export my videos at 1440p, and I do like between like 60 and 65 for the bitrate. And it works. Maybe it's overkill, but at least I kind of have some kind of, you know. It doesn't help that my trailer shots were captured years ago using my Xbox capture. Dude, it looks fine, man. It looks great. But yeah. Also, actually, oh wait, I paused my music. No, I didn't pause my music. I did a poll. I'm gonna try to do more of those too. And I said, are there any games other than Destiny 2 that you'd want me to see me play, like on stream? If yes, name them. And we got 60 votes. And it was 83% to 17%. Now, we all know why that was. It's because the one picture had Master Chief and the other picture did not. But, yeah. I want to talk about that too. So, somebody asked me this in a comment, and he said, Do you plan on leaving Destiny after the final shape, or will you stay? And I've said this in the past, and I'll say it again, that I want Bungie to give me a reason to stay. If the final shape has a good story, and listen, let me just put it like this, all I need for final shape to be a good story is to have the Gardener revealed, and the Winnower confirmed to have to be existing, and also to have that be maybe a thing in the future potentially. But even just the Gardener, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy. I would keep playing for sure. But I also want to be clear that I'm not a Destiny YouTuber. I'm not. And what I mean by that is that, like, Destiny isn't my job. Destiny is what I'm passionate about. And the job that I want, right, is making videos that you guys enjoy. And whether that's because you really are invested in the game, or it's because I'm an absolute bingus playing them and you know it's going to make you giggle, you know, like, that's what I want to do. And I have long-term plans as well, but like, that's only like once things really get going. But like, if I end up doing Destiny for the next 2 years and it's great and I'm having fun, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. If I end up leaving after the final shape, it'll be because, you know, I have something else that I'm able to do that I am also enjoying, you know. But at the end of the day, my goal is to... I'm only going to play something, like... No, sorry, play. I'm only going to, like, really focus on making lore content on games that I genuinely care about, you know. And I've had people, you know, in the past say, oh, can you make Mass Effect lore videos? The reason why I say no for that, it's not that I hate Mass Effect. I haven't even really played Mass Effect, first of all. Well, so first of all, I don't know the lore. I can't talk to you about Mass Effect lore the way I can talk to you about Destiny lore. Second of all, Mass Effect is old. And so all the lore is pretty much out there already. But like, for example, there's that MMO coming out, Chrono Odyssey, and I am really excited for it. I really am excited for it. And, yeah, like, I'm gonna play that for sure. And if I can end up being the bife of that game, for sure. But, yeah. But anyway, as for other random games, if there's enough people that want me to play a specific game, and maybe we'll do like a poll or something, I am 100% down to do like a playthrough of a game, like, on stream. So if you want me to do Mass Effect, I can do Mass Effect. If you want me to do Halo, I can do Halo. If you want me to do whatever, it's fine. Somebody said Cyberpunk, and I'd be completely down for Cyberpunk. It's just that it's very hard to run, and I'm a bit conscious about like my PC and stuff like that. But yeah, like, I'm completely down for that. But in terms of like focusing and like main channel content and the lore, it's always going to be like, number one, what I'm passionate about, and then number two, what is actually kind of viable in terms of growth. And yeah, that's basically that. Do you think we'll get Disciple bosses for the next expansion? What are the chances of the winner being shown if they're revealed? So obviously we have the subjugators, which I don't really like. I don't know if there's going to be any other bosses that are disciples. I feel like if there's any disciples left, they are weaker than Rolk and Nezarec, and therefore I don't have an interest in them. So that's kind of, you know, that's kind of that. As for the Winnower, I always say this. You cannot have one without the other. And the evidence is really building up for the Gardener right now. And I think the reason why I keep talking about a Gardener reveal in the final shape is because we have the whole Veiled Woman statue. And I think that there's a very good chance of that question being answered, which is the Gardener. So, if the Gardener is revealed, by extension, the Winnower kind of has to be. So, we'll see. I'm not expecting to see the winner in final shape at all. But just like one, like just a mention, you know? Like, we beat the witness and we've killed him or whatever, and he's on the ground. And he's like, oh, you might have defeated me, but something far worse is on the way, or some crap like that. And maybe we save the gardener and she's revealed, and she's like, thank you for saving me, but now we have to deal with the big boy. That's more than enough for me. Felix, if you're talking about the Mass Effect thing, you weren't the only one about that. And again, like, no, you're fine, dude. No, I don't. There's no, you're fine. No matter what your choice, you'll have an audience and know that everyone in this chat will watch. You tried with Outriders. Let's hope Chronos won't die that quickly. Here's the thing that you need to remember. You can say what you want about Outriders. Outriders was the majority of my first 1,000 subscribers. There are people that, after the Outriders expansion came out, really wanted me to make lore. And I'm really embarrassed about this, but I said I would. And I ended up not doing it just because of life stuff going on, but also I really just... I looked, man. I played the expansion, and afterwards I was thinking about, like, what kind of lore videos can I make based off of this, and there was, like, no interesting lore. But Outriders, like, you know, I really think that I would have stuck with it if it went better. But yeah, Chrono Odyssey, yeah. And at the same time, I think there's a difference between, we're talking like serious stuff. I think there's a difference between how many, like you guys who are watching me now. I consider you guys the core. You're like the core beating heart of this channel. But if I make a video and it gets like 500 views, if I make a video about Star Citizen, I don't know how many of those 500 would actually watch that. So, I guess what I would say is this. In the future, you know, if I do play another game, it's probably going to attract a different audience. And you're going to have some weird merging going on. And I'm going to be as careful with that as I can. And I'm very, very aware of that. And because, like, the channel does have a very strong Destiny culture. And I don't want to just disrupt that completely. But I think my goal, honestly, would be to have as many people watching just because they have fun watching me as possible, you know? So, honestly, like, if you have anybody that you know who you think would enjoy these type of streams, and not even just about Destiny, but just like the kind of like conversations we have and whatever, just, yeah, be sure to let them know and all that. I got hooked on Outriders for a solid month. It is a good game, and it did certain things really, really well. I think they got sunk with their publisher, from what I heard, money-wise. Allegedly, I don't know. And they completely made the wrong choice with the expansion's endgame. Now, it's been this long since that expansion that the game would be dead anyways. But if the expansion's endgame was different, it would have lasted for a lot longer. Long story short, base Outriders endgame was like the equivalent of like strikes or dungeons. There's like a bunch of them. The expansion had one really big, long dungeon. That is what killed it for me and probably everybody else, because it was just the one mission over and over again. And yes, it was really big, it was really long, but it was still just one mission. I will translate your message. Into the encoder we go. Translate this. If you ever hope to get a new subclass with a final shape, what do you expect it to be and what are your hopes for it? So I actually got asked this today by my friend. I don't know. In terms of what it does, excuse me, I want pure damage. I want pure damage. Strand is kind of mobility, but Strand and Stasis are both crowd control. I want pure damage. I just want to just I want to be the Reaper, you know? As for energy and like what it's made up of and all that, it's not going to be Siva. I really wanted resonance, but since the pyramids were made before the darkness ever happened with the pyramid race, most likely resonance isn't naturally darkness either, and so I don't think it'll be resonance. The only other red thing that I can think of is like nightmare energy, which I'd be perfectly fine with, but we'll see. I don't know. So maybe like a nightmare class that is like damage. That's yeah, I'd like that. Sure. Hey Walter, how you doing, bro? I love it. We get these people, and they're there and they're watching, and they're lurking underneath the waves. You know, or maybe like they're underneath, and then they have like a little like telescope thing, that's like above the wave, and it's just kind of like watching. And then because I don't see viewers, right? I have no idea how many of you are there, right? Because I don't really want to know, to be honest with you. But out of nowhere, then it's like you'll have somebody like Walter, and he'll be like, "It's my time to shine," and then they'll just like reveal themselves with a cheeky one-liner. But anyway, I you're a listener, yeah. And for the record, that's what I am too. I don't type in streamer chats at all. I'm 100% a lurker, 100%. I said it last stream. The only time I really ever chat is I use my Twitch Prime for Aztecross, and then like it gives you the option like attach a message to it or whatever that's like highlighted. So I'll like just say something nice, and then I'll be like, oh, I love your videos or whatever, and I'll be that. How would you want the winner to sound like? Uh, you know, if you know who I'm talking about, like Tywin Lannister wouldn't be bad. Uh, if you've played Baldur's Gate 3, the Cambion dude, the like the devil dude, I can't remember what his name was. Somebody like him. By the way, I would 100% play that on stream. 100%. That game is so good, guys. That game is so good. I'd love to do that. I would make a new character. Do you know what I would do? I would make a new character, and every single decision I would put it up to a poll. And it would be completely unpredictable. We have no idea. And some decisions, it's going to be like, yeah, no, I actually want him to do that. And then other decisions, because like I hate cringe, right? When I watch movies and there's like a really cringe thing, I have to leave the room. It's going to be like, oh, this family's invited you into their home, and a cat has come to greet you from the family. You get two options: pet the cat or kick the cat. And there might just come a time and place when you choose violence, and I'm forced to endure a lot of cringe. Raphael. Yeah. I guess it's his name. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great game. It's so good. I'm not that far into it though. I'm taking my time. I haven't been able to play as much games lately. Just because I'm actually trying to reduce how much I play. I'm just trying to just focus on, if I have time, how can I put that towards YouTube? That's kind of what it is, or other productive things. But I know this Sunday I'm probably gonna binge a lot of it. Do you think the Entombed could be a concept explored in the Winter Saw? First of all, I don't know if there's gonna be a Winter Saw. Okay, I'm not saying anything, right? But I don't think so. The Entombed in that leak way back when were specifically connected to the pyramids. And I think for the most part the pyramid story is going to be kind of finished with Fellowship. Mooney. I can't get over. It's such a goofy name. Goofy name for a goofy people who I just don't like. They did. They could have helped us, and they didn't. I dislike Neomuna so much. It has made me miss Europa. This man deserves an award right here. Like, yes. Neomuna and the Throne World, because the Throne World I think was kind of trash. Like it just wasn't like it looked. The loose and stuff looked cool, but that was about it. It made me look at Europa and do the Thanos like perhaps I treated you too harshly, or whatever the line was. Yeah. But yeah. True W, yes. But anyway, guys, I am going to end it there because it is coming up to my bedtime. I've got like a hard cutoff point. So I gotta keep that, and I'm gonna go to bed, wake up, and then tomorrow, I'm actually not gonna be doing YouTube stuff. I mean, I might edit this VOD, but apart from that, I'm doing other things tomorrow. And then Sunday is like my rest day. And then yeah, I should hopefully. We'll see. I'll see you either Monday or Wednesday. We'll see. I still want the Pyramid City. Me too. Me too. And just remember, Mark Kolobayev still has the locked pictures. I emailed him twice. And... No, actually, I emailed him 3 times. I emailed him 3 times. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for Final Shape to come out and then we'll see. But, like, I don't know. I don't even know if he knows that it's still... maybe he's forgotten about his website. I don't know. But, I need to know. I need to know. I will make this picture here. I will make this picture in my desktop. I will. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to go to bed. To everybody who is here, again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I really enjoyed having you here. I will talk to you all next time I stream. And that could be, I don't know when. There's a chance that I will be streaming more times during the week, but they will be a different format. They'll be just a much longer, just general stream. And yeah. If you're interested in just being a part of the community, join the Discord. And oh, I didn't put a link in the just before I go. If you're interested in joining the Discord, that's a link to the server. And yeah. Anyway, I will. Are you kidding me? My friend just said, just so you know, Dares of the Nine was planned for Taken King. Okay. That feels great. Anyway. Yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody. And thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.